Yo, Pap here, and what's up? Today, this video is going to be a little different from the other videos that I've had. This video is going to be in interview style. Now, in my career, I've stumbled across, I won't say stumbled, but I've gotten to meet some seasoned veterans in cybersecurity, intermediate people, beginner level, and then those who are studying hard and trying to break into cybersecurity. Now, doesn't matter whether they're a seasoned veteran or just starting out trying to break into cybersecurity, all of those people have been valuable to me, and I see them as highly intelligent. Now, in this space, in this cybersecurity space, I recently had the honor to interview a gentleman looking to break into cybersecurity, goes by the name of Neswin. He is a hard studier. His story is motivating. It has to do with perseverance. He gives advice on where he started, how he started, where he's going currently, where he's going in the future, what his dream is, how he plans to obtain this dream. And hearing his story, hearing him present, I was able to learn a lot, even as a seasoned veteran myself. So I'm hoping during the interview, as I'm getting ready to share, that you're able to pick up some things that can help motivate you to work harder to get into the field, or if you're already in the field, to work harder to learn new information that can help with expanding your career and helping you grow within the cybersecurity space. So, a lot said there. Just take a listen. Let's give Neswin the floor and see what he has to say.
Hey, hello, YouTube. It's an honor to be in Ops content. I am Neswin, and I'm an offensive security researcher by day and a fighter by night. I'm a servant of God, and I'm also a vocalist. And lastly, I'm a personal development and professional development influencer.
So you say you're an offensive security researcher. Um, I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great way to learn about the evolving landscape for cybersecurity. But I'm interested
Yeah.
to understand your research process. What do you research and how do you research? Can you talk to that a little bit?
Actually, I do like when I wake up. When I wake up my bed, I just go directly in my computer and just do a lot of hack the boxes. Like I do a lot of hands on, and whenever I don't get something, I just Google and stuff. Most of the time, I just learn a lot by doing hands on. Yeah. I also do bug bounties before, but right now not really since I can't manage my schedule.
That's awesome. Have you learned anything new, let's say this past week, from the hands-on training?
Hmm. And I learn something new. I would say that I always learn something new every day because of the the boxes. They always have different vulnerabilities, the different situations, different privilege escalations, like to the point that I'm just getting used to it. Like that's what cybersecurity is about, right? Like learning every day and endless learning, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree. I think
Yeah.
cybersecurity is always evolving. It's important to keep learning,
Yeah.
especially a young aspiring professional like yourself to
Yeah.
be in a space, tackle it. I love how you use the term researcher by day and fighter by night, right? I love how you do that. It kind of implies that you study all day and by night you're out there, you're doing the things that you're learning, you're practicing.
Yeah.
Those are the things that sharpen the skills that a cybersecurity professional needs. So
Yeah.
I love how you worded that, and I love that approach that you have to cybersecurity. Um,
Thank you, Bob.
uh, I'm interested in a lot of the other stuff too. So servant of God. I am myself. I applaud that. Um,
Yeah.
Vocalist. So do you sing? Are you into karaoke? What does that mean?
Actually, when I said vocalist, right now I'm 16 years old, and back then when I was in fifth grade or fourth grade, I think I was like 11 years old that time. I used to compete in singing competitions. I'm into bamboo. If you know bamboo, do you know bamboo pop? Yeah,
No,
I
but
really
I can
love.
imagine.
Yeah, I his music theme is like a little bit rock, like raw, uh, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I used to compete in singing competitions, but for some reasons, I got discouraged because of cheating. Yeah, cheating.
Ah,
Yeah, I got cheated on. Yeah.
that's still great.
Uh,
It's always great to have a hobby outside of cybersecurity that you
yeah,
love
maintaining
because
balance. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Maintaining balance. It's a very stressful space sometimes. It's good to
Yeah,
seeing.
yeah,
Great
it
to
is. I
see.
agree.
Now I also see that you're a professional dev influencer, and I'm curious to know what that means for you. Could you
Oh,
explain that a little bit?
actually, when I have like when I have, I'm so friendly to the point that I'm friendly, but I that doesn't mean that I just hang out with them and stuff. My goal is also to help people to build their skills, to build their knowledge, to find their purpose. So whenever like whenever like they always ask that what's my purpose on life, blah 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 and stuff. I always tell them to explore. Always tell them to explore, to find their skill, find find what they want, what they really want in life. So yeah, that's how I became a personal dev and professional development influencer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think you have a great
Yeah,
goal in order to, help other people, to provide that advice, to explore as much as they can to find what interests
yeah,
them.
yeah.
And start floor is yours.
Because like I've noticed that a lot of teenagers they like to revolve in their school, like I need to get high grades, I need to get high grades and stuff, and they don't know what's really what really they want, you know. Like yeah, I there's this one kid called named Kairos. He's my friend, and he said, "Hey, bro, I want to become a web developer, and I don't want to be revolved in school anymore and stuff." I said like, I'm proud of you. Then I provided resources for him, and now yeah, he's doing pretty good. Like so he showed me some projects already. Yeah, doing pretty good, and I'm proud that I've helped some people already.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, one time I read an article. Now, don't quote me. I don't know how true this is, but it has some merit.
Yeah,
But the article pretty much went into details about career changes in the average human. So, how many
yeah,
times a human will change careers in their lifespan? And I think the average came up to about seven at the time that I had read the article, which was probably around 2017 or 18. Um, and this, I believe, does have some merit, especially when we talk in terms of school. Like, as you said, yes, many people do want to do very well in school. But what happens is we end up almost deadlocking ourselves, right? So we go through high
yeah,
school, we go through college, we really don't know what we want to do. We finish college and we are stuck. We never figured out what we wanted to
yep,
do. So
yep,
I agree. It is very important to try to explore things, figure out what you want to do while you're in school. That way, by the time you're going through college or you're entering college, you have somewhat of an idea where you can explore. And if you don't like that, you can always change your career in college or whatever point you are in life. It might be a lot easier than going through seven different career changes throughout the course of your life. So
yep,
absolutely, I like the approach that you take to explore young and figure out what it is you want to do, and then later you won't have to suffer the repercussions of not knowing what you want to do. Okay,
yep.
floor is yours. I think I've asked enough questions for one slide. I want to let you, present some of the things that you'd like to share today.
Okay, so for since we're starting out in cybersecurity, I actually start in hands-on labs, CTF and real world. I highly recommend starting out in Hack the Box Academy. But for beginners, I actually recommend ECM Security. They have pretty detailed videos, courses. Like I really learned from them.
So
And if you're already yeah,
why?
go ahead. Go.
I'm just curious. Why Hack the Box Academy? Why? There are other labs like Try Hack Me. There's like Pen Tester Labs. There's a few labs, and so uh, come from someone who's jumping into space, running away with a lot of
Yeah.
knowledge and currently learning. I'm curious, why did you choose Hack the Box as your first platform?
Yeah. So I really chose Hack the Box because like they really have detailed modules like when you're going to explore their infosec fundamentals. They really teach in-depth skills like they won't just teach you the commands in LLM and are poisoning XSS. No, they don't do that. They really teach how do they work. So I really highly recommend Hack the Box. And as the difference between Hack the Box and other platforms is Hack the Box is also focused highly on hands-on. And hands-on is very great. It's a very great platform to learn more in cybersecurity because I believe in cybersecurity. If you just do it every day and every day and every day, it just get easier. And Hack the Box does that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, I know Hack the Box has well, there's the Academy side, which is academy.hackthebox.com, and then there's app.hackthebox.com, which
Yep.
app is usually the subdomain that's reserved for um, the CTFs, the labs. They have like challenges and things like that. Where do you see yourself spending the most in? Do you see yourself spending the most time in the academy side of Hack the Box, or do you see yourself spending the most time, actually doing the labs and trying to get the flags from these boxes in app.hackthebox.com?
Yeah. Actually, right now I'm doing a lot of hands-on in app.hackthebox.com since I asked for a sponsorship for my brother, and for now I really can't enroll in Academy Hack the Box since we're in the middle of financial crisis. So for now, since I have TCM Academy and they teach pretty good, I just finish the courses in TCM, and for hands-on I go directly on app Hack the Box. Yeah, I just do that for now, but I'm looking forward on Academy.
That's awesome. So, tell me, what does TCM offer that you find interesting that draws you to learning on the TCM platform and then applying those skills to Hack the Box?
Yeah, so about TCM, I look at it as more like theoretical knowledge. I mean, yeah, they are telling us to do the labs on Try Hack Me, but I do like I more like watch the videos finish the courses on ECM, then I jump on Hack the Box. Plus ECM is not overwhelming knowledge. It's not really overwhelming compared to Hack the Box. That's why for beginners I always tell them to go do the TCM first. Because when you jump directly on Academy Hack the Box, there's a lot of reading. There's a lot of information where you'll get information overloaded. And TCM, they just speak about that. They explain it using videos, so it's less overwhelming.
Well said. Well said. So I love reading. So when I saw Hack the Box Academy, I went full on, geek mode, reading, like going down as much reading as I can. However, the majority of people in my circle, in my network, prefer videos over reading. So when when I'm recommending training videos to them, I agree. I do think the video style that TCM might offer is more appealing than the reading style that Hack the Box would offer. So
Yeah.
I love the approach that you take with video style and then jumping on the Hack the Box labs based on the videos that you learned. Floor is yours. I know you weren't done with the slide, so go ahead and let
Yeah.
us know more about what you do.
Yeah, so I also network on people. Like I talk to a lot of people from different platforms and different groups. So it's also one of your greatest asset. It's your network because when you network, that's where you'll meet friends, you'll meet mentors who will help you out throughout your journey. And speaking of mentors, yeah, I want to shout out these people who helped me out through my journey. Yeah, this is pa.
Oh, look at that. There's me.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, this is my three friends who really helps me out a lot in my cybersecurity journey, especially if I'm getting stuck on a specific topic that I don't understand. They help me out a lot.
That's awesome.
And
Can you,
yeah,
for the viewers watching, I am a big advocate of networking. I think in cybersecurity, it is critical to network in order to
yep.
one, land jobs, to learn new information because there are things that people know that you can learn from, and also three, if you learn new information, to be able to share that information with others so that cybersecurity is a collective growing community and not just people, kind of hogging this information. That said, the question I have for you is, can you explain how you go about networking? What are some of the platforms that you use? What are some of the approaches that you take in order to build your network and uh, maintain the network that you build?
Okay, so about that, my platforms, the most platforms that I on is Discord servers. But please be wise on choosing Discord servers. There's a lot of some people out there that is not really friendly environment. So yeah, I actually joined TangoSec, Cosmodium CS, Axe Network, Cyberwires. I know that you guys don't really know this servers, but I highly recommend searching it up because I met a lot of people that helped me out throughout my journey. Because of these people, um, specifically from TangoSec, my mentor here's my mentor here, Trip Roybal and Lena Yu. They pushed me to become a speaker on cybersecurity conference. And without them, I won't be able to speak. So yeah. About that, I'm looking forward on RootCon Hacking Conference and Code Blue in Tokyo, Japan. I hope that we're going to get approved. And if yes, then it will be really nice to speak there.
Oh, absolutely. I'm hoping that you get approved. I'd love to see you up there and speaking and helping out those who are willing to listen. And I see that you from this page that including myself there, that we're all on LinkedIn. So looks like that's another platform you use for networking in addition to Discord.
Yes, LinkedIn, LinkedIn too.
Ah, that's awesome. I use LinkedIn myself. I also use Discord myself. So I'm like I said, I'm a big advocate of those platforms. I do agree that Discord can sometimes lead you down the wrong servers. So it is good
Yeah,
to do some research and also do some due diligence to make sure that you are joining servers that are, you know, uh,
ethical.
right, exactly, ethical and more um, inclined to helping you versus than to getting into things that should not be they should not be getting into.
Yeah.
Okay, want to give you the floor again to keep going. I'm loving this presentation so far. I think it's really helpful, and even someone like me, I'm finding that I'm learning just from listening.
Okay, thank you, Bob. So, and now I'll describe a project that helped me learn a lot in cybersecurity. So I learned a lot in Active Directory Lab. I mean, at first, I guarantee you it's kind of hard because there will be errors, especially if your computer is kind of potato. It will be really hard. Yeah, there will be a lot of errors, but if there's an errors for me, it's a good thing that there's an errors because that's where the research come from. That's where the research, the Google, and you learn a lot from errors, from troubleshooting. Oh yeah, Active Directory Lab is the first. The second project that I've done is honing hack the box Windows boxes from easy to insane. It's still on progress, but um, I've beyond I've beyond already easy boxes like there's three left, And from tuning all these easy boxes, these retired boxes, I've learned a lot because you'll encounter different privilege escalation, different privilege escalation, different kind of attacks, and so on.
Now,
So
for these hack the box machines, I hear it a lot. In fact, probably a few times a week, I hear people wanting to get started with hack the box and find that even the easy machines might be difficult. And then they kind of hit that wall where you can't really solve the easy machines, and then they kind of give up because it just gets too hard. What are
yep,
some of your advice in order to overcome that challenge of being able to solve these easy boxes and then improve to start moving on to medium and expert and eventually insane?
yeah. So yeah, my advice is that's why I put from easy to insane. I want you guys to put in all the easy boxes first, and whenever you're having a hard time, watch IPSEC. I promise. Watching IPSEC really helped me a lot in my journey. Like I feel I know that you guys know imposter syndrome, right? I feel like really a noob in Hack the Box. I feel like kind of dumb that I can't own this box. But the more I do it, the more I do it and do it and do it. When I get stuck, I watch IPSEC videos, and I realize that I'm building up the skill, and the boxes are kind of getting easy. So I would say that just do it. Just do it and do it and do it. When you're stuck, ask for help, watch IPSEC videos, and eventually you will improve. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm an advocate for IPSEC, so I think I have his entire intro memorized. He's been doing it for years. And same here. I when I started Hack the Box, I started on an easy box. I had no idea what I was doing, and thanks to IPSEC, I was able to understand Hack the Box as well. So I love that commonality that we have there.
So the next process, the next project is ransomware. When I was starting out in cybersecurity, I actually tried studying C, and I tried developing a ransomware. So at first it's kind of hard, but developing a ransomware taught me how this ransomware gangs, how this ransomware software or malware runs or operates in in a victim PC. So basically, they give me an overview and how to defend against them. So some common ransomwares actually just target specific extensions, and they can only target the one that uh privileged user is has access to. But if the I think there's some kind of ransomware that can't really attack at other files if the user is not really privileged. Like when uh when a cybersecurity company employee accidentally ran a ransomware, the files that the ransomware will be able to infect is the employee files only. If if they have proper security controls. So I learned about that. I learned how the ransomware process, and I gained a vision on how to defend against them.
Absolutely, and that's critical. That's crucial. Ransomware still remains to be one of the most deadly forms of malware for organizations and users, and it is not easy to evaluate your security posture to make sure that we are secure enough to protect against the most advanced ransomware. And having someone to understand how ransomware works, of course, helps with being able to help organizations and people to protect against ransomware attacks. So it's awesome that you went down this path. I am curious to ask, with the plethora of malware that exists today, what made you focus on ransomware over different other types of, or I would say other types of malware that exists?
Oh yeah, actually, the thing is, I wanted to become a malware developer at first. So that's why I started building out. a ransomware as my second project on malware development, but I for I mean I still wanted to become a malware developer, but for now I did not continue that path and I focus on becoming a penetration tester because on the industry there's not really that much job you can get as a malware developer. Yeah. Except I think you can sell out malware, but that's kind of illegal thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you have a point. I have seen, you know, jobs that want to hire people for malware analysis and more of the reverse engineering process for malware. But you know, a role where you are developing malware,
Yeah,
there's really no
it's
market for
kinda
that. So
yeah.
that was I would say that it was some critical thinking that you did, which is good. Great critical thinking that you did to be able to uh, stop what you're doing, figure out is it even worth the development of learning how to develop malware, and realizing that you know for the sake of a career, it might not be worth going into malware development per se. But I like
Yeah.
how you took the approach of learning how to defend against, in this case, ransomware, which
Yeah.
is a valid skill to have for a career in cybersecurity.
Yeah, because malware development kind of taught me already on how to analyze malware. Yeah, yeah, there's kind of no market in malware development, but a mentor told me that once you became a red teamer, it's kind of required to be able to write malware because you need to bypass enterprise EDRs, enterprises AVs. But yeah, if you're only a red teamer.
Yep, absolutely. And so that highlights the point on malware development. So
Yep.
there is no career based uh, market where you don't go to school for malware development, leave school and have a job in malware development. However, malware development is still important because it can help with a lot of different areas in
Red team
cybersecurity.
ops. Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, malware development could even help organizations understand the weaknesses that operating systems have inherently. Um, and so it can also help to strengthen those operating systems. Okay, I am curious to hear about this manually trojanizing software. So I'm going to give you the floor and let you explain what that is.
Okay, actually, manually trojanizing software and use shout out to Cosmodium CS first. It's a malware development community that I joined like 7 months ago. I highly recommend you guys to join there. So I watch Cosmos videos on manually trojanizing software. So what I've done there is there's a normal software called Zoom it. Uh, a great example would be, let's say, there's a legitimate application, example calculator. A friend sends you a calculator. And you downloaded the calculator and you run it. It looks normal, but it's actually running a malicious code, and that's called Trojan. So the way it works is you're going to put it on a debugger, and there's a code cave. You kinda need the knowledge of assembly architecture because you have to do the jumps, you have to do the yeah a lot of jumps, a lot of assembly architecture. I mean, you don't really need to know how to code in assembly by manually trojanizing software, but more like understanding how assembly works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And this is a I'm curious to hear, I'm curious to hear more about this because this is a uh, focus that is still not as known, in my experience with people I've worked with, not as well known as it should be. And I say that because there are vulnerabilities that come out that use covert channels. So an example would be there was a Slack vulnerability that had come out uh, where basically you can have okay. So let's put it like this: uh, an organization will deploy a firewall that will block certain traffic. In addition, the firewall will inspect traffic. So if it's malicious, it will drop that malicious traffic. Now, what happens is you can use a legitimate software like Slack, and you can uh, Trojanize, like package, a piece of this software, or you can uh, create some kind of malware that utilizes Slack's channel for communication, one or the other. And you're basically using Slack's channel. So whether you're using Slack itself and just kind of wrapping it with some kind of malicious software or malicious code, or you're straight up just packaging Trojan like malware and you're delivering it through Slack. Um, Inherently, if an organization is using Slack and also firewall, they let traffic from Slack enter into the environment. And so this vulnerability was basically you can distribute malicious code back and forth utilizing legitimate channel, which was a legitimate application, which was something like Slack. So complex example there, but the idea is that Trojanizing legitimate software can easily invade firewall, antivirus and things like
Yeah,
that if done
yeah.
correctly. And it's something that cybersecurity professionals, like myself, like us, it's important for us to understand how this actually happens so that we can employ better security measures to protect against it.
Yeah, I actually will put my GitHub repo here and the video description, so you guys will be able to see on how I've done it, or I really didn't put the how I've done it on the slide.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
floor is yours. I'm loving this so far. I think you're really hitting on some of those things that cybersecurity professionals struggle with, including myself, with like trying to protect against. So I'm loving the presentation so far.
Okay. Thank you, Pop. So yeah, let's now say that let's now talk about on my most challenging aspect on learning in cybersecurity. It's actually the networking when I was starting out in cybersecurity when I was a beginner. Start learning CCNA if you guys are familiar with CCNA. I got overwhelmed because I feel like terminologies, the topics are too wide. Like there's too much to understand in my perspective. That's why I got burnt out for like a month, and I get back and learning networking after some weeks of resting. So my advice will be maybe start with networking fundamentals, then you guys can jump into CCNA. Actually I relearned CCNA because it's kind of your advantage in cybersecurity. Learn how to configure networks, learn how to in depth how network works. I mean, yeah, you're not a network engineer because some people said that work fundamentals is enough. I mean, yes and no. Like, what if you encountered a vulnerable Cisco router, right? How would you approach that if you don't know CCNA? I actually relearned CCNA by a book, a Filipino version book of CCNA that really helped me out digest the knowledge and the contents of CCNA in a less overwhelming approach since it's my first language. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the what is that saying? Hit the nail on the donkey. I don't know what the saying is, but um, what I'm trying to say is I think you have accurately depicted how important networking is for cybersecurity. It's Sometimes it might be advertised that just knowing the fundamentals is enough. But as a cybersecurity professional, as you said, it is important to know the fundamentals and then to keep learning, to get things like the CCNA, to understand how networks work, at an overview, and also understand what the correct implementation of these network protocols would be and how to secure these network protocols. Good example is if you're going to use a VPN protocol. Well, there are many different types of VPN protocols. A lot of them utilize Diffie-Hellman, which is a public key exchange cryptography. And Diffie-Hellman generally has groups that you will select with a VPN tunnel. And those groups range from like uh, I don't know. I think it's like 1 to like 19 or something like that. I forget the numbers that, all the numbers that are involved. However, the numbers dictate the key size. So if the number is too small, your key size is small, which means your actual PKI system, the public encryption system, is weak and can be probably cracked. If it's too large, that means your key size is really big. And as you're sending traffic over a network that is supposed to be encrypted with your public key, that traffic might be a lot slower traversing the network because the key size is so big. So you have availability issue with a larger key size, and with the smaller key size, now you have confidentiality and integrity based issues. So you won't know that unless you go a little further than the fundamentals of networking, for example. And so I agree with you. It's important to know the fundamentals, but once you know the fundamentals, it is important to go and get these certifications like CCNA. That can help for a job, but the big purpose of getting certifications like CCNA and Network Plus is to help you to further learn those networks.
Yes, I agree, Bob.
I also like this illustration that you have here. What my friends think I do, what my parents think I do. I think this is an accurate depiction of what really
Yeah.
happens.
So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so would you like to ask a question about this image, Bob?
Yeah, yeah. This is a cute picture. I will say that. Um, so I'm gonna take a guess and say this is the brother that inspires you every day to do what it is that you do, to study as hard as you study and to work hard as you work. Um, but I'm just curious, what is it that he does to maybe motivate you, or how's that relationship? How does it help you to continue your studies, to be I would say a better professional? And yeah, if you wanted to take the floor and talk about that, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, so back in the days when I was like 9 or 10 years old, my brother demo simple simple network interception using Wireshark. So he was like, "Hey, Neswin, go log in your social media account and I'll show you something." But I did log in, and he told me my whole password, and I was like, "Huh? What? How does that happen?" So of course, as a kid, I was so curious. Like I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how did that work. How do I do that as a kid? Because when you're a kid, you're kind of really curious. So I asked him, and he doesn't want to tell me. And I mean, yeah, I understand. I was like, it's his good decision that he didn't taught me, because when I was a kid, I was really a crackhead that time. Yeah, and specifically that platform is Facebook, and that time Facebook is it's not an HTTPS yet. That's why he successfully intercepted my password, and he was a fourth year college that time. Oh yeah, he's the one that motivated me and that pushed me to become a offensive security researcher. And so when I was starting out in cybersecurity, I used to watch YouTube's exploit and stuff, but I really don't know resources, or like where should I start and stuff that time when I was 11 years old. And uh and uh, can I talk about how I really live in cybersecurity, Pop?
Yeah, actually, that was the question I was going to ask you.
Okay.
So that this is perfect.
Okay. So it all started in pandemic COVID-19. You guys know it's kind of my depression phase. Got a lot of mental health issues, including Asperger syndrome, where I have trouble communicating, socializing with people. I got severe anxiety, depression. I was like starting out in Python, coding in Python that time, and I stopped for like 3 years. And I eventually got back for the hope of God, for the sake of God, and some help from pastors and psychiatrists. When I was 15, when I turned 15, I start again. Um, I started becoming a freelancer when I was 15. I became a graphic designer. I became a video editor. I became a virtual assistant. But at the end of the day, I was like, do I really want what I am doing, or I'm just doing this for the money? And and it's something that pops in my brain. He he said like, yeah, you're just doing it for money. Remember what you really want. It's cybersecurity. So I research in Google. I research and research with some communities and stuff. So yeah, I I I f- I found the path to start in cybersecurity by joining a lot of communities. And I really start out by understanding how network works, then scripting, and eventually diving in Hack the Box. Yeah, so that's how it all happens. It's like a really roller coaster ride. But I am happy that now when I turn 15, I actually figure out on how to start in cybersecurity, because there's kind of ton of resources and Google that kind of overwhelms people.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And first, let me start by saying that sorry that you had to go through so much during COVID. Um, I can only
Yeah.
imagine, how tough it must have been. Um, but I will say that I am happy that you were able to persevere through hardship. Um, and in that hardship, while you were persevering, you found your purpose once again. You remembered, your passion, and you didn't continue to pursue, like you said, the money where you may have not been happy, but you decided to pursue your passion. And in addition to pursuing your passion, cybersecurity is a very difficult field. In fact, it's so difficult only a small percentage of people continue with cybersecurity. It's common for people to give up when things get really difficult. So, to see that you not only were able to find your passion again, but pursue your passion, and when things got difficult, continue to work hard to overcome those hurdles and the study walls that you start hitting. That's inspiring. And I hope anyone that's watching this can um, there's anything they can get out of this, it's that perseverance, is really important when it comes to not only cybersecurity, but like things in life. Life gets tough, and the factors of life can impact your career journey. Mental health is an important thing, and perseverance may not come from yourself. You might need help, like you said, from therapy, pastors, family members, friends. You'll need help wherever you can get it. So it's good that you were able to get that help. You were able to persevere. And anyone else watching this, it'll be, the same concept. Get the help that you need. Whatever it is that you need to do to persevere, go do it. Get the therapy, whatever it might be. And while you're persevering, find your passion, because that's what I'm hearing in you, right? You found that passion and you stick with it while you're overcoming these things. And there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what I will
Yes.
say. And I'm seeing it from hearing your story. And I'm happy that you shared your story.
Thank you, Pop. Okay. So now I want to talk about on like what Pop said. what made me start and what motivates me to pursue a career in cybersecurity. I've already talked about it. It's my brother. And now I want to talk about on how I was able to maintain it, like what Pop said, that cybersecurity field is really hard and it's really tough, kind of burning out sometimes. I would say that what really motivates me and what really disciplines me is my family. We're not really family of rich people. We still experience financial instability and stuff. So yeah, when I it's kind of painful to see my mother and my father kind of having hard time on work. So I was like, my brain was like, hey, you can't be lazy. You haven't retired them yet. Because my dream is become an influential and powerful person and to retire my parents. So it's what keeps me going. My family.
That's awesome. That's a great thing. It's a great thing when you have the love for your family, the support for your family. Um, it just goes back to what I was saying. Mental health is important, and as you study in cybersecurity, it's like you said, having a family to be there to support you, and even having the dream to be able to support your family. Um, those are some good drivers to help motivate you. But also, you know that when things get tough, you still have people to talk to. You still have your brother that you can talk to. You still have your parents that you can, talk to, and they can provide. Hopefully, they can provide all the love that you need to continue going. But it's just awesome that you have, you know, um, this motivation that comes from your family. Um, just curious, what are your I know you're studying hard. I know you're working, hard in your careers. I'm curious to hear what your dream is. Where do you want to go with the cybersecurity studies that you have? Where do you want to take it, and where do you want to go for the future as you expand your career? Once you're, I'm assuming, done with college and things like that. Where do you want to bring your career?
Yeah. So about that, I actually mentioned this before already to you, Bob, and I wanted to become an NSA agent. Although I heard some people really discourage me to you can join NSA. It's scary there. I mean, you won't know if you haven't tried yet. Like I know there's rumors. I know there's stuff heard about them, but I really want to. I really want to become a part of them, and no one can stop me from doing that.
That's awesome. I will say it's not scary there at all. I don't think it's a scary
Yeah,
place. Um, I think you should go for it. And I think, like you said, there are a lot of rumors. I think you know a place once you work there, um, and I think you might like it. Should an opportunity arise, it's anywhere in working in government is a great place to work. Great place to whether you want to start or whether you want to kind of transition there. Um, you tend to learn a lot in government, and you're not siloed to one job at times. There are times where you get to collaborate with other,
yeah,
you know, other projects, other team members, and
great
do other
project.
things that are outside of the scope of what you might have thought, you would be doing, which would then help further your knowledge and your skills. So go for it. I say go for it. I'm rooting for you. Um,
Yeah,
and several years from now, I want to read that article and see that you're in the NSA.
yeah. So moving forward on that, I'm actually planning out in that time. I'm planning out on moving to UK. I'll be able to work in NSA.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think, yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. And hey, if you don't get in the first time you apply, keep trying.
Yeah,
Keep trying, and
just keep going.
that's the best you can do in cybersecurity.
So yeah. Um, just want to end this video with my advice to the people who are teenagers like me. I want to say that don't become leaders of the ship, especially if you're an Asian, like what I've said earlier. Don't revolve yourself on one specific thing, like school. Don't listen to your teachers that you need to become with high honors, with high achievers, especially if you're pursuing cybersecurity. I'm not telling you to stop studying or stop pursuing high school or college, but still you still need diploma. I mean, it's always an advantage to have a diploma because most of the time it's required in cybersecurity. Yeah, at the same time, do the minimum to pass in school. Do the minimum. Don't stress yourself out too much, because at the end of the day, it will look at your character and skills. At not if you got an A plus or a B plus or an F or what. Just need to pass and get that diploma. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. So it's an interesting uh, world in that space because in high school, in my experience, I don't think jobs actually look at your high school grades. Colleges will, but again, in my experiences, college they do look at your high school grades, but um, there are other things like in the U.S. we have test scores like SAT, um, and things like that, to where I've had a lot of high school friends that had not so great grades get into some prestigious colleges based on their either SAT scores, or they wrote the best sob story with their entry essay that they wrote. But then I have seen, people get into prestigious colleges purely on high school grades. Now, I will say once you get into college, yes, your grades will be probably most important there. But you would most likely be in college for the career of your choice. So at that
Yep.
point, you would be working towards a common goal that you have already set. So
Yeah.
um, overall, I like that approach. I like this quote: "Don't become like the rest of the sheep." So the idea
Yeah.
is, try to be different. Try to be unique
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
try to pursue your dream. Don't just follow what everyone else wants you to follow.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to follow the TikTok trends. You don't have to be involved in the social media issues. Um. Yeah. You have to avoid those negative things because it will just drain out your energy and just follow your passion. You don't really need to be involved in these negative things and avoid them as much as possible. Think about always on how you would stand out in your career or as a person, and how you will take advantage always.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was It was a pleasure actually to be able to, hear this presentation, to learn more about you, your career, your passion, the hardships you've gone through, how you overcome those hardships, the advice you have for other aspiring cybersecurity security professionals, all the above, all the above. It was great to hear about it. Like I said, I'm rooting for you, your journey, and I'm really happy to see uh, one day where you'll end up with the studies that you have, the career you have. Um, Absolutely going to keep in touch, keep you in my network. Like I said, I want to see you in these, where you want to be. If that's NSA like your dream, I want to see you there, and I want to see you happy, doing what you love. So I appreciate your time. And hey, maybe we'll have an update presentation or chat sometime in the future,
Okay,
so
okay,
the world can see how much you've progressed and things like that.
okay. Sure, sure. It will be an honor. And also for the people who wants to connect with me, you can just add me out in my LinkedIn. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's all.
And I'll share, if you want, I can share this in the video. Just post it in the
Yeah,
description.
sure, sure.
So if anyone wants to connect with Neswin, then we can put the LinkedIn linked in the description. So just go to the description, you'll see it there. And show him some love. I mean, that's when I've known him for some time now. He's a hard studier. He studies a lot. He learns a lot. I mean, 8 hours a day. I think you study 8 hours a
Yeah.
day, which is
Yeah.
absurd. So when it comes to being hungry for information, he's the guy. He's the guy to study with. He's the guy to learn from. If you're not sure you want to get into cybersecurity, or if you're a young person looking to finish high school and get into the space, he's a great connection to get started on that. All
Thank
right,
you, Pop.
Neswin,
It's
thanks
an
for your
honor.
time. Um,
Thank you, Pop.
have a great one.
Thank you.